it's the Rawsome Vegan Gal here, and today I'm holding up a box of products from a company called Banza. Now, I don't know what the name means, but it is a company that makes pasta from chickpeas, and this is their variety pack, and what they say at the bottom of their box here is pasta that loves you back. So this is their variety pack. They have four varieties here. Penne, rotini, elbow, and shell. So I'm going to show those to you. I'm going to talk to you about the products and tell you about how this company got started and what they're doing. So just to show you the boxes. So it comes with, one elbow. So this is what the box looks like. And then it comes with two shells. So this is the variety box if you want to get it. Oh, and I also want to thank Catherine for getting the products sent over to me. And then we also have one of their penne. So they're all different types of shapes. And then also two of their rotini. And that's what that one looks like. So, so this company, how did this all come about? Oh, and I also want to say I'll have a link to the website below this video so you can check out all they offer. So the founders were two brothers, and their values are innovation, honesty, community, and wellness. And they want to, change pasta for the better. And they started the company in 2013 in a shoebox-sized kitchen in downtown Detroit, perfecting their recipes to make pasta. And they also wanted to make it healthy, tasty, and easy to cook. And their attitude is what leads us to believe we make you love pasta just a bit more than you ever thought possible. And our dream is to create incredible category-changing food products that improve people's lives, to make nutritious foods that is accessible, affordable, and convenient, so we can take all the steps towards eating better. That's really nice. So they started their journey in 2012, where one of the co-founders graduated and moved to Detroit, and then he started in 2013 in his kitchen to make with chickpeas and a hand crank it says to start making pasta. And then in 2014, they launched the company called Banza. Also were featured on reality TV. And then they debuted in their first retail store in October of 2014. Then let's see, in 2015, they released two new shapes. Their first two were their penne and rotini. And then in 2015, they released shell and elbows. And they also won the Natural Product Expo East Next Tea Award, which is the People's Choice Awards. They also became the #1 selling pasta in Fairway, including conventional brands. They were featured in Time magazine as a list of top 25 inventions of 2015. And then in 2016, they were named to Forbes magazine's list of 30 under 30 for food and wine. And that's about that. Now, just to tell you about it, now in the meantime, I'm boiling the water here. It's already almost boiled in this pot that I have over here. It's a clay pot. I can't lift it up now because it's hot. But I featured it in another video that I did if you want to check out the pot. It's really nice. So what did Catherine told me? She said that these pastas 2 times more protein and 4 times more fiber, nearly half the net carbs of traditional pasta. They're gluten-free, vegan, soy-free, non-GMO, low glycemic index. And you could swap them out from your pasta, from your traditional pasta to this. And then what I'm going to do is to kind of get the pasta to be really, interesting, is you want to add something to it. So I'm going to have a couple of sauces and stuff I'm going to make and talk to you about. So this is the first pasta made from chickpeas. It's a superfood that you may recognize as something you use in hummus, if you've made ever hummus with chickpeas. And unlike regular pasta, which lacks significant nutritional benefits, because a lot of people don't want to eat wheat or stuff like that, or corn or eggs in their pasta, this has nutritional benefits. So theirs have 25 grams of protein, 13 grams of fiber, and 43 net carbs. And I already said gluten-free, soy-free, all that vegan, nothing artificial. It's all 100% natural. And let me see if there's anything else to tell you. And then she had a tip, Catherine, on the shells and the penne. But what I'm going to do is something a little different. I'm going to actually mix them all together. And I think the pot is already up to a boil, so I'm going to want to put that in and then show you what I'm going to make. So she said for the shells and the penne, you should cook it a couple of minutes longer for a softer noodle, and it's not updated on the packaging. But what I'm going to do is something a little different. I'm going to actually take a couple of ounces of each variety and put it in an average, let's say about, like maybe 10 minutes. Or I'm just going to taste it and see how it tastes. Also, they're now in over 1,700 stores nationwide, including places like Sprouts, Whole Foods, Wegmans, ShopRite, depends on where you live. And so that's the story on the company. So now what I'm going to do is I have a little measuring cup here. Now my water is up to a boil. You can't see that right now, but I could actually move the camera over so you can see there's the pot. That's the pot over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up, and first let's see, this is the rotini. And it comes in a box, and it comes right in the box. There's no plastic or anything, just on the outside, so it comes straight in the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out a couple of ounces for each one, if I can get it into this little measuring cup that I have. And this is what they look like. This is the rotini, so that's the color from the chickpeas. And what else they use in here are tapioca, pea protein, and xanthan gum. And so you know it's non-GMO fiber, so everything is natural. And I didn't also mention it is also kosher certified, if I didn't say that. So let's see, I'm going to measure out 2 ounces, which is not a lot. 2 ounces is just that much, so it's not making a lot. So maybe I'll do a little more. So let's see, this one, the ones that I have 2 of. So we have 2 boxes of that. So I'll do actually 4 ounces of this one. And I'm going to add that to the pot. And then I'm going to do, let's see, we have only 1 of the penne, so I'm going to do only 2 ounces of that one. And I'll show you what that looks like as well. So this is the penne, what that looks like, so you can see the shape. So, oops, I think I dropped one. That's okay. Try to get 2 ounces here. As the water is going to come up to a boil again. So that's about 2 ounces, maybe a little drop more. Then the next one I'm going to take over here is the, let's see, the shells. There are 2 boxes of as well. So I'm going to do 4 ounces of the shells. And then this has a shelf life. I'm not sure what it says on here. It's good till 2018, it says. So this is what the shells look like. Just like shells that you'd find on the beach. But these ones are edible. So this one I'm going to do 4 ounces. Okay. Then I'm going to check on the water there. It stopped. It was boiling, but since I added the pasta, it's not right now. So I'm going to add that. And then the last one I have here is the elbows. So that I only have 1 box. So for that one, I'll just do 2 ounces, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. They just look like little elbows. You're familiar, most people are familiar with noodles, what they look like. So for that one, I'm just going to do about 2 ounces. And then they say to add salt to the water. I usually don't do that. So if you choose to do that, that's fine. So we got that going. And let's see. So now I'm going to mix it up a little just to make sure it's not sticking. It may be sticking in the pot. And while that's working itself and cooking, because it will take a little bit of time, maybe about 10 minutes. I don't have a timer, so I'm just going to go on how it feels. I'm just going to taste it. So what I'm going to do now is tell you about some ideas for what would you put on it now. Now we want to keep it healthy, and I'm vegan, so I only would do a vegan sauce. So one of them I actually have already pre-made. It wasn't made actually as a sauce, but I came up with the idea to use it that way. So I usually make a gazpacho soup, which is a cold soup, which has a tomato. Mine is a tomato cucumber base that's blended. And then I add other cut up vegetables, including celery, grated cucumber, pepper, fresh rosemary, other maybe herbs if you have. And then I also add Italian seasoning and paprika and some black pepper and turmeric. So I mix it all up, and then I put it in the fridge, and it gets to a nice color because also tomatoes are rich, but also because I add the paprika. So I decided I make it as a soup, but it gets really thick. But I decided that would be a really nice sauce. And my soup kind of stays, I keep it for a couple weeks, and it actually gets fermented, so it's almost like a fermented gazpacho, but it's really nice. So I'm going to use some of that on the pasta. So that's already pre-made. But the other thing that I'm going to actually make, and I think this is almost coming up to a boil, I just want to check it, and I like to mix the pasta as it's cooking to make sure it's not all sticking together. And some people I think of add oil to do that, but I don't use oil, so Another idea that I'm not going to be making, but another idea you could use if you want to do something vegan is do something with avocado. I call it my creamy avo orange sauce. So it's very simple. All you do is you can blend it, you can mash it up very fine, you whip up the avocado and add some orange juice and mix it together, and it's finished, and it's really good. Or you could throw it in the blender, but also you could add other things to it if you like herbs or like fresh parsley or dill or anything like that. You can also add that as well. So the sauce that I am going to make is what I call a coconut butter basil cream sauce. So it's like a, I guess kind of like an Alfredo sauce. People use like cheese or something dairy. I'm not using that. So instead I'm using coconut butter. I prefer to use whole coconut as opposed to coconut oil. And this is from a company called Artisana Organics. And I'll actually also have links below to any of the other products that I'm using that you might be interested in. So I actually review their products on my channel as well, so you can check that out too. So this is really nice. It's the whole coconut that's pureed. So I'm going to use that as the base. And then I'm going to add, one thing I forgot, excuse me, I'm going to get it in the fridge here. I neglected to get it, so pardon me. I have this, also another company that I reviewed called Coconut Secret. This is their coconut aminos. It's a soy-free seasoning. All it uses is coconut tree sap and some sun-dried salt. That's it. And I'm going to add that as well. And also I have some Dulse over here. This is Dulse powder. You can see that. And I also am going to add some ginger powder, some black sesame seeds ground up, and some lemon, and also some fresh basil. So I like basil. And also the black sesame seeds. I get that out to show you as well. It's from a company here called Foods Alive, another one that I reviewed on my channel that I'll have a link as well below. And the pasta, I think, is coming up to a boil again almost. I want to, again, check on it. I have to always keep track of what's going on here. And then taste it soon, because it's probably going to be done sooner than later. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is going to start showing you how I'm going to prepare the sauce for the cream sauce. So the coconut butter tends to separate the oil, so we want to mix that up. So I have a spoon here. I'm going to mix that up a little. Not too bad, but it tends to do that in the hot weather, where it gets more liquefied as opposed to, you know, it's not as thick as far as the separation goes. So I'm just going to take like maybe a spoon or so out, kind of a big heaping tablespoon, and maybe a little bit more, so it gives it a nice flavor. Now if it's still too thick when you're going to use it, you can add some liquid. I prefer not to add water to it. Better to add more like, let's say, lemon or something, something that is already like, that you want. So now I'm going to add some, add a little bit of Dulse. Again, this is just for flavor, something different. Maybe like a half a teaspoon of Dulse. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper ground in. Now I'm adding turmeric, and that's why I add the black pepper, because the black pepper actually helps the body absorb the turmeric better. And I'm not using fresh turmeric, I'm using turmeric powder, or I should say turmeric. I always pronounce it wrong. Turmeric. So it's going to give it a little bit of an orange color when I mix it up. Then I'm going to add, I have some ginger powder here as opposed to fresh. It's easier to work with when you're making a sauce, although you can use the fresh. And when I do fresh, I would just squeeze it out. But be careful when you're using the dried, because it's more potent, so you want less. So I'm just going to mix that up a little in here, and it may turn a little bit of orange color. And there's not a lot in here right now, if you can see that in the camera. It's not that much. But once I add also the basil, and I'll add also some lemon juice, and I want to check on the pasta again here. Make sure it's not getting overcooked. I might just try one or two, see how it is. Yep, I think it's almost getting done. Very close. So that's good. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up some of the basil here. Just bring my cutting board over so I can do that. And I have the fresh basil. So I'm just going to chop some of the leaves, and that's going to go into the sauce. And you can chop them pretty fine. So, or in just like little ribbons, which is nice too. It's up to you how you like it. So I'm just doing regular, just chopping. I don't think I'll chop it fine. I'm just chopping the leaves up. Then I'm going to add that to the coconut butter. So, and then I did not add the lemon yet, so I'm mixing this up, and probably is going to need some kind of a liquid. I may have to actually add a little bit of water. I prefer not to, but I don't think it has enough of a liquid base. So first I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice, just to give it a little different kind of a flavor. And then see if I need some liquid. I may need some liquid because it's a little bit too thick. And or else I may actually add a little more of the coconut butter. So it looks more green. You don't see the coconut butter too much anymore. The basil's actually taken over. So I think I may just add, I'm going to move this out of the way here. I think I may just add a little more of the coconut butter. Now once you use the spoon, you want to get a clean spoon. You don't want to use the same one when you're doing this. Oh, and I didn't add the coconut Aminos, so that might help give it a little more liquid. I forgot about that. So I added maybe like a teaspoon or so, something like that. Depends on the taste that you're looking for, but I think it still needs some more of the coconut butter. So I'm going to add some more of that. Instead of adding more water, I'd rather add more coconut butter. And maybe more of the watery part, so that if I can get some of that out, no, it doesn't want to come out. Okay, that's okay. I'll just add some more coconut butter. Maybe another heaping tablespoon. And I'll leave the spoon in there in case I still want more, so I don't have to search for another spoon. And now I need to really check on the pasta again, because likely it's done. But this is kind of what it looks like. It looks more green than the white. You're not seeing so much of the white. But I think I am going to add just a little drop of water to this, just to make it a little less thick. It's gotten a little too thick now with the basil. So it'll water it down a little, because it doesn't look like a sauce so much. And I think our pasta may be done. I could actually smell it. So I think I might want to turn that off. So a little bit more water. Again, my preference would be more to add more citrus. I did add some, but I probably didn't add enough. So doing the best we can here. And now it's, I think, looking a little better. You can see more of the coconut butter now. So I think that's going to be good. So now what I'm doing, I'm just going to actually turn off the pot here, because likely it's done. And I'm going to taste it again, just to be sure. I think it may be done already. I'm not sure if it's 10 minutes yet, but just to be sure. I think the shells need a little bit longer, but the others seem to be done pretty good. Let me try this one too. A little bit chewy, but not terrible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain some out. Instead of pouring the whole pot out, because I don't have a regular strainer, I have a strainer like this. We're just going to take some out. And I'm actually going to keep it hot. And I could rinse it under cold water, but I think it'll be fine just like this. Fine for me anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of the other sauce that I have here, the tomato one, and pour some out onto it, the one that I told you, the gazpacho. And then I'm going to taste it. Let's see how it tastes. So I'm going to just take a couple of spoonfuls of this and try to not take as much of the water, but more of the tomato stuff. Okay, and I'll show you how that looks. And then I'm going to try some. So here's the final result. Here's how it looks, if you can see that in the camera. Doesn't that look pretty? So with all the vegetables and the pasta. So now let's see how it tastes. We're going to take another spoon here, a fine one, or a fork. Either way, I can use one of these spoons. So it's something a little different to make, to add to your pasta. Give it a different kind of a flavor. Now, like I said, some of it is still a little chewy because I mixed them all four together. Now that it's still sitting in the water, it may get softer. Some of them are a little chewier than others. But the flavor tastes really nice with the gazpacho sauce. I think it has a nice addition to it. But again, you may want to cook the pasta separately, and that's okay. But like I said, I think it's the shells and the penne. Those are the ones they were talking about that should be cooking longer. So that's that one. So now let's try it with the other sauce. My cream sauce, which, because I added some water, it's not as... Oh, and I forgot to add the ground up black sesame seeds. Ooh, I think I might have put too much. Let's see if I can grab some of that out of there. Okay, that's better. It poured out really fast from the container, and I was not paying attention. So I'm going to mix that in, give it a little different color, so now it has more of a black, like black specks in it. So now what I'm going to do is take another bowl here, grab my strainer, and scoop out some more pasta. And then show you what that looks like, and then I'm going to have to taste that too. Okay. So here's some pasta, and then we're going to put the cream sauce on top. My coconut basil cream sauce. And then we should mix that up. And grab another spoon here. Mix that into the pasta so you can see how it looks. So this is a more creamier type of a sauce than the other one was, and thicker. And a little more hearty as well because of the coconut. Hearty and a little more fatty, but it might suit people who like more of a cheesy type of sauce that they're used to eating. So this is how it looks. It looks really nice with the basil. That's good. That's really tasty. I would probably add a little more lemon juice to it, but that's really nice. Really goes well with the pasta, and I think it's softened up sitting in the hot water still, so that tastes really good. And to think you can have a cheese sauce without cheese. It's a great concept, right? Especially if you're vegan like me. That one's very nice. So that's Banza. Great product. So let's go through them again before I end this video. So we have their rotini shape, and then we have their penne. And oh, I forgot to mention these come in 8-ounce packages. And it says on the bottom, powered by Chickpeas. I think that's very cute on the bottom. And then I also have their shells. And then finally their elbows. So I hope you try out these products. They're really great. Again, it's the sauce that makes the pasta really, but having a good quality pasta that's made from some whole food that you would prefer to eat as opposed to others that maybe aren't as nutritious. So this is definitely the way to go. So I thank you for watching. It's the Rawsome Vegan